Springtime, technically, here, and that means biologists from the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife are getting ready to restock some of Maine's lakes and ponds with various species of fish. Now, most of the time, the fish are raised in a hatchery before being dumped into a deep part of the lake. There are programs like this all across the country, but in the late 1940s, the state of Idaho had a different problem. The Idaho Department of Fish and Game shared a video on their YouTube video describing the situation. As people expanded into more rural parts of the state, nuisance complaints about beavers increased, so the department would capture the beavers live and take them to different parts of the state. However, Idaho has some extremely rural and difficult places to get to by car, so they actually devised a method of airdropping the semi-aquatic rodents. They specially designed drop crates, outfitted the crates with parachutes, and then
the plane makes a careful approach, ready for the drop. Now into the air and down they swing, down to the ground near a stream or a lake. The box opens and a most unusual and novel trip ends for Mr. Beaver.
But how does the box open? This program ran for a few years. It was actually very successful. In fact, fewer beavers died this way than by land transportation. The department does not have a record of why the program ended, but they have not airdropped a beaver since the early 1950s.
How rough was the land transportation that more died doing that than dropping them out of an airplane?
Yeah, or just the stress of it.
Yeah, a lot of questions about.
I wonder if it was like a relatively simple, like spring-loaded situation where if
When
it
it
hit the
hit.
ground at a certain.
That would make sense.
But then the box and the parachute are there.
Just
And
hanging
what
out.
happens if the box doesn't open?
I don't know.
It's the end of the road.
Yeah, it's a slow version of that.
Good.
Weird. I never thought of beavers as being, well, I guess if they create too many
detrimental, right.
dams, then it can be
Yeah.
a problem.